my best impressions is Al Pacino falling down a flight of stairs. Oh! Today I wanted to talk about this speaker swapping thing. I bought the Fender Princeton a couple of weeks back. There was a video where I was trying some of my favourite pedals through it, and a lot of them sounded kind of spiky. Now the tube screamer that I'm using through it right now is a TS10 and it doesn't seem to be sounding too spiky. I don't know if that's because I got the volume at 3, so I'm going to just turn it up to maybe 4. And let's see what happens then. So that's still not sounding spiky, so I need to find a spikier pedal. So I'm now using the Jetta Monster, and I'll just do a little bit of So yeah, I think probably as I turn it up slightly more, you probably might hear that it gets a little bit even more spiky, or if I have even more gain into it. So it's actually not as bad as I was remembering it, but in any case, I've got a Celestion G10 here, which I'm going to try into it, and I'll keep the same loop, keep the same settings, and let's see if I decide whether this was a waste of money or not. At low volumes, I'm thinking probably that present stuff that when I was playing it downstairs, and I was thinking all of this sounds a little bit too present and a little bit too harsh. Maybe when you're playing it at lower volumes, like with volume on 3 or 2, so at the moment I've got it just slightly above 3, maybe that's what you need it for. Obviously when volumes are lower, things can sound a bit duller. So if you're playing it at low volumes, maybe that's why they've gone for that Jensen in there. Anyway, I'm going to try the G10 and let's see how we get on. So those are my first notes playing through this new speaker. It took me about 15 minutes to just swap it out because I had to take off the back guard thingies, and luckily it all fits perfectly. The old speaker is really quite lightweight in comparison. Whoa, that was close. Good, that was. Anyway, yeah, the old speaker really quite lightweight in comparison. I need to go and actually check what the sound samples are like to see whether there's much difference. My immediate reaction is not like it's night and day. I'll try and play with the most amount of gain that I played through the last one. same. It seems like this speaker is louder than the Jensen. I guess maybe that makes sense. Someone could probably explain to me why that'd be the case. Obviously it seems like it's a way more substantial speaker with a more substantial magnet. It's heavier for sure. Maybe it's a more efficient speaker. So yeah, it does seem like it's definitely louder, and it seems like there's a slightly less brittle top end. Certainly feels like a more substantial speaker, and has increased probably the volume of the amp, and I think tamed a little bit of the brittleness in the high end. But still has that spikiness that was jumping out. So probably an improvement. It's going to make the amp slightly heavier, but I think it's a slightly more quality speaker. Has it made the complete change that I was potentially looking for, expecting? No, but there were people that said in the comments that the Celestion Gold is still quite a bright speaker anyway. But I think it's probably an improvement that I'll stick with, at least for now. This amp is actually a temporary thing until I get something slightly more exciting. But yeah, speaker swap might be worth doing. At least it's fairly simple, and at least it's fairly cheap. I think I got the speaker for about 60 quid. If you do like this sort of video and sort of messing around with speaker swaps and stuff and tone and gear, there's plenty of other stuff on the channel. This is my first ever speaker swap, so sorry it's not particularly scientific, and sorry I don't know anything, but I was just coming at it from a does it actually make a real difference point of view. And certainly physically this feels like a way less substantial speaker than the Celestion Gold that I've just put in, and tonally I think it's the Celestion Gold has kind of a bit less of that kind of brittle high end. Yeah, so I guess that's hopefully vaguely interesting. Thank you for stopping by.